So what have I been reading over the last 2 weeks? What have I received? What am I planning to read? I didn't record a vlog last week because I didn't really read very much. I was away on the second week of my holiday and I was very busy, and there wasn't enough worth reporting or talking about. It was also very hard to find time to record. This week has been a far better week of reading, and I came home to find some books had arrived and some war games actually as well, which I'll share with you. So the first book I finished this week was, this was my main holiday book by the second week, The Lies of Locke, Lamora by Scott Lynch, the first in the Gentleman Bastard sequence, which I really enjoyed. I think there's layers to what you can say about it. I'm going to review this next week, so you'll get more of my thoughts then. I think the big takeaway was it's a very, very good novel with signal flaws. There's like some plot seams that show up, I think, between particularly the first and the second half of the book, about how the main plot actually resolves. I think there's some moral questions the book raises, which it then fairly peremptorily resolves. Oh yeah, don't worry, this is how they're resolved, this is what you should think about them. There are some questionable depictions and tonal things going on, but on the whole, the characters are very interesting. The world is wonderfully created and realised on the whole. The plot is often very compelling. The conclusion is really well done. So though I don't think it's some kind of modern classic and all-time great, as some people have sold it, I really enjoyed it. So I finished that this week, and I will, as I say, review it next week. I also finished this whole bind-up, Miles, Mystery and Mayhem. I'd already finished the first novel in this Setagander. This is the Vorkosigan saga, Lewis McMaster Bujold's big sci-fi cycle or series, which I really like. I've now read 6 novels and 2 novellas in that universe, plus I've read all her fantasy. That is available in the UK anyway. This one I finished today. Last night I finished the novel Ethan of Athos, which was her 3rd novel that she wrote. It is technically a standalone. I wouldn't suggest someone be introduced to the series via that as a standalone, though I did enjoy lots of it. I'm not going to review this book because it's not a good entry, I think, into the saga, so I might as well say Setagander, really, really good. I really enjoyed that, where Miles goes to the great enemy of his home planet, Setagander, and ends up investigating an Imperial level mystery, and sort of forcibly investigating it when really people don't want him to. Ethan of Athos is about a guy he is a geneticist and obstetrician, I guess technically, from a world with no women, where they use the uterine replicator. This series is bound together, connected by the uterine replicator that's common in this universe. And it's a male-only society based originally on monastic principles, and they breed their own sons via the uterine replicator. And the concepts were great. The characters, Ethan and Ellie Quinn, who is also in The Warrior's Apprentice, and the other characters are really good, and I really enjoyed them. However, there were some kind of heavy-handed satirical points which I don't think really landed, and the plot did both hurry and then rapidly slow down at the end and go through various endings, Lord of the Rings movie style. The novella in it, Labyrinth, which I read today, it's 100 pages, and that was pretty good. It's again a Miles story. He is off to a planet to pick up someone, and it turns out there are wheels within wheels and extra things going on, particularly to do with genetic experiments and previous genetic engineering experiments as well. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. It wasn't as complex or interesting as even the other novella I read by her, Mountains and Morning, but I did enjoy it. Of the 3 omnibus editions, it's been my least favourite, but I really enjoyed Setagander. Setagander was a very, very good story. So if you are interested in the Vorkosigan saga, I have reviews of the first 2 omnibuses, both of which are good entry points. Find them on the channel. I have also been reading a bit of, because I want to review this month, The Complete Tales of Lovecraft. I've read lots of Lovecraft. I'm trying to finish off the stuff I haven't, which is mostly smaller stuff, but does include a few things. I haven't read The Whisper in Darkness, for instance, a few big things. I've got a really nice edition, which is the Rock Point edition, hardback, with the engraved and mock gilt cover. And Lovecraft's great. I think it's notable, kind of both catching his weird editorial tics, some of his weird personal beliefs, but also how good he is at building atmosphere and invention. So hopefully I will review that and do an Appendix N chat on that later in the month. My other novel priority now, so Lovecraft, but my novel priority is Dune, which I kind of got moored on, or I kind of got anchored by to some degree. I think not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I had other priorities, and so I read 55 pages, was like, oh, I need to finish this other book. I want to read these other books first, just to get them in order. And then I've kind of found it harder to get back to it, just because there's been other stuff going on. But again, hopefully next week, I guess, could be a good target to finish Dune. We will see. I've been reading one other book, or started one other book, but that is going to come in my my book haul, which I guess I'll do now. RPG wise, I haven't really read very much in the last couple of weeks. I've read bits and pieces, but my book haul, I returned to find 3 books had been delivered to me. One, this is the Loeb Classical Library Latin English dual facing edition of Florus and Cornelius Nepos's Histories of Rome, and that's useful. I like reading primary source histories anyway, and these two are lesser known, and this I think just turned out to be the best way to get Florus, who does an epitome of Livy, the great Roman historian, an epitome being like a summary. So that was good, and fairly cheap. And then 2 bind-ups of Sword and Planet / other related stuff, kind of Appendix N. This is Appendix N. Philip Jose Farmer, World of Tears. I've never read anything by Farmer. This has the first 3 novels, so it's World of Tears, Volume 1. World of Tears is one where this guy, basically there are worlds that are like glassy landings on a cosmic skyscraper, it says, where he has to go through different worlds to solve whatever the superior state of self-knowledge that he craved. It's a sort of inner quest mapped onto the outer. The other is Jack Vance's Planet of Adventure. This is the complete Planet of Adventure, 4 novellas or novelettes. This is a really nice cover as well. Again, in a bind-up. And that's something I'm looking forward to particularly. I think it's one where some people think, along with maybe Leoness, it's Vance's best work, though some of the issues that come up in Kugel's saga around women do apparently crop up too. So we'll see. But I'm really pleased with both of those. The other I got is this, Lord of the Hollow Dark by Russell Kirk. I have a review of his collected ghost stories. This is also a ghost story. His collected ghost stories elsewhere on the channel. He's a very interesting writer. He mostly wrote elsewhere, history, culture, literature. But he wrote a number of very well respected ghost stories and was highly praised by, on the back it has, for instance, Robert Bloch, author of Psycho. He's also very highly praised by Madeleine L'Engle and by Ray Bradbury, who thought his stories were the best ghost stories he'd read. And Lord of the Hollow Dark is one of the... He has 3 novels, none of which are too easy to find. In fact, even sometimes the short stories are harder to find. But this one, I ordered from an American seller on 8 Books. It arrived, and I was like, oh, great. And I opened it, and I was like, it seems to have 2 dust covers. And I opened it further, and it did indeed have 2 dust covers. And it was a biography of Amelia Earhart in the wrong binding. Innocently sent, I think, but nonetheless. Very annoying. However, it is useful I have a spare dust cover, because this dust cover is torn. So I guess I'll just swap the dust covers. It is a ghost story about a weird ritual that's being performed at Balgrumo Lodging, which came up in one of his short stories, by a number of characters named after characters from T.S. Eliot poems. T.S. Eliot was a friend of Kirk's and thought Kirk was his best critic and interpreter. And I also know that his character, Kirk's main character, his most regularly appearing character, Manfred Arcane, appears in this. I don't know how, but I know he does appear, presumably as an agent of vengeance against the dark forces working in Balgrumo Lodging. So yes, I'm looking forward to that. I did start it. I kind of just threw it onto my TBR because it had arrived. It probably won't be an absolute priority, but if I'm reading a chapter every couple of days or something, I'll get through it soon enough. And the first chapter was very good. Very easy to read, less arch than his ghost stories. The short stories, that is, but still very, very interesting, compelling, atmospheric, and as I say, easy to read. So, yeah, again, you can check out my review of his ghost stories on this channel. And finally, this week, I think, in terms of TBR, as I say, Dune, Lovecraft, and maybe a bit of Kirk. But finally, for those who might be interested, I did get some wargames which I ordered in July from France, hence the delay. And they are all relatively small ones. None of them are big box games. The first was actually a magazine game. Ve Victors is a French wargame magazine, and this is technically the game, which is just the map plus some counters and some rules in French for the Battle of Warburg, which is where the phrase "going at it bald-headed" comes from, where the Marquis of Granby, you may have seen pubs named after him, they were ones that he founded to look after his soldiers after the 7 Years' War. The Marquis of Granby led a charge and his wig came off, his kind of white powdered wig fell off, and it was said that he was going at it bald-headed. Avec Infini Regret, Volume 3, The Battle of Moncontour, which I've already bagged up. So this is from the French Wars of Religion, and this was a big battle where the Admiral de Coligny was defeated with his huge nose by the Catholic royalists, and that's a series I really like. And then finally, there is Napoleon himself with Trois Jours de Gloire, 1805, which is battles to do with the Battle of Austerlitz, his masterpiece, including the Battle of Austerlitz, as well as a couple of others. And I really like the kind of little envelope or what is it, case that it comes in. It's a really efficient form of storage. It's not as good once you've punched out the cardboard counters and they're in bags and stuff, because then it all gets a bit bloated. But compared to a box, but as just a easy, space efficient kind of storage, it's great. So that is one of my fringier hobbies, and I don't know that anyone who watches the channel would be interested. Maybe David Wiley, who's a board gamer. But yeah, those were some extra bonus things that had come through rather late in the day. So I feel very lucky for that. What have you been reading? What have you been getting, buying, receiving as gifts? And particularly on Gentlemen Bastards, I am 50-50 whether to continue with the series. Not because I didn't enjoy the first book, I did, but partly because of will book 4 ever come out? And isn't it meant to be a 6-book series or something? Will book 4 ever come out, given it allegedly exists in draft? But also because, so it's partly that, but also because I'm like, I don't know if books 2 and 3 are good. Reviews are good of them, but then, I think reviews of the first book are perhaps overblown. So if you have read the series, either Gentlemen Bastards, tell me what you thought of books 2 and 3, because I'd like to know if I should look into them. Anyway, that is enough from me. Till next time.